You know, what we face is no different to what our superhero friends on TV face. The difference is probably scale, let's be honest. And we don't have superpowers to deal with our challenges. But like some things in life are really hard. And we cover that. We also look at things like how do we actually just break that pattern, that loop of like that repeated, it's like a luge track in the Winter Olympics, you know, that giant slippery slide that they go down and try to not die on. I don't know how they do it. That it's like once they're on that track, they can't get off. And sometimes for our kids, once they're on the track of that like escalation, they can't really get off. So we want to look at how we deal with these hard things, but we also want to acknowledge some things are bigger than us, bigger than our skills, and some situations are going to be really hard. So we try and turn some of that into some scenarios. Let me show you sort of an example of scenarios like that. Is say, if I go to a new school, how do I handle my first day? How do I handle my emotions on my first day? Before school, when I'm anxious about it. During school, when I'm freaking out and lonely, and afterwards when I get in the car and I just cry. You know, like how do I handle that? You know, we look at things like, you know, just day-to-day school events or big school events. You know, how do I handle my emotions before, during, and after a family thing? You know, so the idea is that our superheroes on TV, they have to deal with things that are really hard. For us, we mightn't have to save the world, but something that we're facing might be really hard. Okay. So we sort of cover that as well. And a lot of interpersonal conflicts are very hard, and that gets covered. This is sort of helpful as well. I'll just share my screen, which is like looking at specific strategies that your child can use. They can use their deep breathing. They can use all these different ones, but what your child uses, is different to what someone else uses. So your child needs to build their own plan. So how do you use that at home is your child needs a plan, maybe a list on the wall of their room of 4 things that they can do when they're really upset.